I wanna party to my last breath, till there ain't no air in my lungs left. I wanna party to death, in the club till I'm old like who left. Switching up my girls like who's next. Yeah, get around, switch it up like roulette. Nicki Minaj, Carrie Ann and Juliet.
Hello gentlemen of the internet, it's Most Wanted here, and today I am with Broiler.
Sup?
And he is going to help me explain you what the Panorama City is in Need for Speed Carbon. Before we begin, I'd like to give you a basic overview of what we're talking about. Panorama City is a mysterious texture resembling another city other than Palmond, and it is a common sight seen from canyon locations such as Desperation Ridge, Eternity Pass, Gold Valley Run, and a few others.
These cities, however, do not resemble any previous cities from past Need for Speed games. They only exist in the vicinity of Palmond City and its canyons. Their names originate from the texture file's name. If you explore around the textures of the game with a program called NFS TextEd, you can find this texture with the name pan_city, which stands for Panorama and City, so we chose it as their names and use it to this day.
In total, there are 3 Panorama Cities found in the game. The first one is to the southeast of Palmond City, commonly seen from Gold Valley Run, Knife's Edge, and the weird incorrectly placed version of it can also be seen from Copper Ridge. There seems to be a giant valley in between East Canyon and the city, which is built on the side of a rather high mountain. From Gold Valley Run, we can also spot the river heading right towards the city, but from this point we don't really know where it continues. Around the end of Copper Ridge, it's possible to see this city, but for some weird reason it's placed a lot closer to Palmond City. We do not acknowledge this as one of its locations because Copper Ridge was a canyon route made early on, and they might have made this slight mistake with the placement, plus it just does not make sense in the first place. Now, before we continue, I would like to correct myself here. In the various series, I've stated that Journeyman's Bane is the highest canyon location of all. After further research, we have found proof of Desperation Ridge being even higher than that. We have found this out in a pretty basic way. To the north of the first city, there is a giant mountain Eternity Pass is on. Behind that mountain is the second Panorama City texture, but the mountain in between is so high that Desperation Ridge's mountain is the only area high enough for us to see it from. So there you have it. On the same mountain the first city is on, we can find the second city slightly to the north of it, behind Eternity Pass's mountain to the east.
The third city, however, is when things start to get really interesting. It is to the northeast of Carbon Canyon and can be seen from Eternity Pass, Desperation Ridge, Journeyman's Bane, and Deadfall Junction 2.
From Eternity Pass, we can get a really clear view of how this area looks like, as you can see on this map. And other than this, it also seems to be put on a plateau, so it's usually higher up or on the same height level as the canyons we can see it from. This concept seems a bit familiar, doesn't it? Let's just enter San Juan and look around. It's commonly known that Silvertongue can be seen from San Juan easily, but look at those mountains over there. Don't they seem a lot familiar to the mountains seen on this map? If you try to map the environment in San Juan, you get this. But if you turn it upside down, it's the exact same thing. Ladies and gentlemen, we have found San Juan's proper and accurate location. But this is not all. We also have found some more details about the find.
If you look at the Panorama City texture from Eternity Pass, you can notice an extra highway texture leading out of the city, heading towards Silverton, which definitely seems to portray some sort of connection between the two districts. This is also seen from San Juan. Take a look at the Silverton texture and you can notice a straight highway heading towards Palmond City. As it seems like we have found the connector road between San Juan and Silverton. It's not accessible, however, but clearly represents a highway in that area.
Other than that, we have found this. A boat in San Juan, where there supposedly is no water. Or is there? The boat seems to be moving around the west of San Juan, heading southwest of Palmond City itself. Where could the river be then, you might ask? If you have not seen my video on Deadfall Junction, please watch it right now, because you might not get what this is about at first. So remember the Panorama City texture seen from Deadfall Junction? We could also see the Petersburg Lake extending into a river and heading north, straight towards the Panorama City texture, or in this case, San Juan itself. So we also have found proof on San Juan having a river to its west, which is the same as the one seen from the previously mentioned canyon route.
San Juan also seems to be put on a plateau in front of a larger hill. That is, by the way, the reason why we can see Silverton from San Juan without Carbon Canyon's lower hills disrupting the view. San Juan is a lot higher up than Palm City, and Silverton also seems to be sitting on a rather high hill, so the line of sight is also possible.
To summarize this, the Panorama Cities are three separate city textures representing cities other than Palmins. One of them is to the southeast of Palm City, the second one is to the north of the first one, only seen from Desperation Ridge, and the third one seems to be San Juan itself on a plateau, with a river to its west and a connector road also included. These textures, however, do not represent cities from previous Need for Speed games, as they are all areas of their own. After all, I've also decided to create a map of every single Panorama City explained, with their canyon locations properly marked, to give you an idea of how this is supposed to look like. Alright, we hope you have enjoyed watching this video, ladies and gentlemen. Apart from this, there's only one video left to make about Need for Speed Carbon before the Need for Speed Underground Marathon, which seems to be the final Need for Speed Carbon project of mine, the Need for Speed Carbon Geographical Map, which will take at least a week to release though, so give me a bit of time. But, until then, peace.
Hey guys, this is Broiler, obviously, and if you have enjoyed listening to my voice, although I'm not sure why would you be interested in listening to my voice, then feel free to check out my YouTube channel. It's either right there in the video, or it's linked in the description. It's one of those two. I don't know what Most Wanted will do. To be fair, I've been working with Most Wanted for over a year, and the collab's been a project planned for a very long time. So, I hope this has been worth it. This has been Broiler, and I'll see you whenever I can.